2012 Mercedes CL 250. Issue that all these cars have is this handle always breaks from the inside. So we're gonna replace that today. The piece that breaks is this little piece right here from the inside. So I'm gonna show you how to get that replaced. You buy this kit from eBay, and comes with these screws, this handle. So now we're just gonna open it up and replace it. All right, so the first thing you want to do, get one of these plastic panel poppers. And this whole trim is gonna come off. This whole trim. So you want to just work it out. Let me show you on the other side. You want to just, let me put this back in so I can show you. You want to just put this in here and pop it out like that. Once it's out of that groove, then you can just start backing it up little by little. Little by little. This whole thing's gonna come off. Take you back to the other side. This thing's just gonna start coming off little by little. Be careful with this corner. This corner goes in a lot on the other side. So you want to just pull it down. Once you get this corner, see this corner on the other side? Oh, it's sticking up. You want to pull down. This whole thing is going to just start coming off. It's pretty simple. Just take your time, no rush. And then this piece will start coming along off. Once you wiggle it, this piece will come off. Will clip off. And the tweeter is attached to it, so we're going to want to just disconnect it by pulling. I'm going to just pull the harness from the base, and it comes off. So it's connected right in here. And you pull this from the base. Set this off to the side. And this will come off here. Take this foam off, put it off to the side. Now we can see this comes off carefully. You want to be very gentle so you won't break these clips that are right here. But they're just kind of like squeezed in there, so you kind of just come off. Or if you want to get a little flathead and go in there and just push it down and then out. It's also an option. So you know, get a little flathead, pull out. All right, so we're gonna set this to the side over here. And now, you wanna be careful with this tab right here. Okay, so to take this tab off, you want to push it inside that middle piece, and then inside there's two tabs that are like this. So you're going to want to get the bottom one up and the top one down and bring it out. So bottom one up. It would help if you had something plastic prying it back at the same time. So like this, prying it out gently. And then bring that top tab down and the bottom tab up while you're prying this out. you look in there, you could see that it's coming out. Anyways, there it is. Basically what we're doing is we're bringing those two tabs down. So basically what we're doing is bringing those two tabs down. You see those two up top and one on the bottom? That bottom one, we're bringing it up. The top one, we're bringing them down. Basically, these tabs that are right here, when you stick this in there, you bring it down, you're bringing that part down. And then that allows you to slide it out. Alright. Next, we're going to remove the bolt right here and right here. I'm going to use the T30 Torx. And it helps if you have a magnet. These are the ones we want to remove. T30 Torx. Next, since there's an opening right here already, we're going to get one of these forks. I prefer this metal one because it's long, it's sturdy, and you can really get in there. So we're going to use your left hand to kind of bring it out a bit. We're going to get to the first fastener that's right here. So get back in there, and you just twist it, pop this one out, and then keep going down the line. This piece will also come out. Which it hooks on the left like that, and these edge parts will come out. It helps if you push in right here. That'll just help you get your hands in here while you pop that fastener out. So put this back a little bit so you can see a little better. Next, our next fastener is exactly right at the bottom of this. Get behind the fastener at the base of the fastener and pop it out. We're just going to work our way all around the door until we get it all loose. The next one down is in the corner. Next one. Next one is going to be right here, right below the speaker. These are the ones that you want to remove. So they're actually on the door. Just pretend this is the door. They're like this. And they're on the actual frame of the door. So what you want to do is you want to stick this in there. Get behind as much as you can. Get behind it and twist it. So get behind it like right around here, or here if you can, and then just twist it. Now sometimes these will stay on the frame of the door, and the door panel won't have these on. They'll leave these behind on the frame. Ideally these will stay on the door panel, but they don't always. So you kind of just do this. Now, I don't recommend it for older cars, but if it's fairly new, if it doesn't look like it's toasted from the sun, you could do that because the plastic is still strong. But it's always safer to use this twisted, otherwise the door panel bracket that holds these will break. So that's why it's always better to use this. bring this door panel out with my fingers, I could see right there, there's one right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick this in there carefully, and I'm gonna get behind it and twist. You see that? See how I did that? Perfect example of what you want to do. That way it stays on there. It doesn't force that plastic that can break by pulling it. It doesn't force it. So that's why you want to use this tool and get behind, twist it, and get it off. Do that all across the door. Now sometimes they're hard to get, and you want to just get this as close as you can. Instead of pulling the whole door and applying pressure here, just get this as close as you can. Sometimes it'll just pop out. So this door is pretty much loose and ready to remove. Wiggle it, get it out, up, and then you can remove the door panel. But first, you want to remove these harnesses. And to do that, it's easier if you just remove it from this module right here. Remove that blue harness and the red one. And that'll get you the door released. And we can focus on this piece right here, the handle, which breaks on all these models. That's what we're replacing. This piece of the handle that broke. So that's the piece of the handle that broke from the actual door handle right here. This is a piece that always breaks. So we're going to remove that plastic piece so we can get the other one in. And we're going to try to save this white part because that's what we're going to need to keep that door handle in place on this cable. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 underneath the speaker, 7, 8, 9 fasteners, 2 screws, 1, 2 with the Torx T30, and this tricky clip right here, and of course that trim piece that we started off with, along with this triangle, and removing the tweeter, the side edge with the triangle. So it's recommended that you have a nice table to work with, and basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this whole panel right here by grinding down these tabs right here. Be very careful with this clear plastic because that can easily break. So I'll show you how to remove that later. Our goal is to remove this piece right here. That way we can get this door handle out and bring the new handle in. So we're gonna try to figure out which ones we need to remove without having to grind down all of these, because I know there's a few that we don't have to. I think the last one I did some extra ones. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to get it out without grinding all of them down. I know for sure we need to take these 10 mils out. So we'll start with those. Okay, to remove this, it's a little tricky. I used a 5.5 millimeter socket. I'm sure if you use a 6, you should be fine, but 5.5 worked good for me. And I just stuck that in there. See where it's like 3 pieces squeezed? You basically need to squeeze them all together. I put my nails behind there while I squeezed with my thumb. And I used my other finger to kind of push the other one out. And that released it. That's what you want. You want to take this broken piece out. And you want to maintain this white piece there because that's what's going to hold the handle in place. What we're going to do is remove these 10 mils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you can't reach them, it's a good idea to get a little magnet. So we remove 5, set them aside where you won't lose them. It's a good idea to get one of these. All right, we're gonna set it aside. Next, I like to remove this right away. Otherwise, you can break this clear piece right here. That's what illuminates. I'll show you. Under here, it's a little clear plastic that lights up the door handle. And it's very thin. It's a thin little piece right here. And this is where the LED is at. Shoots light through the clear plastic. That's really fragile. So that's the first thing I'm gonna remove. To remove that, you use a little flathead. It's a little tab on the top side that you just push out, and then with that one out, you could almost just take it out, but if you get the corner of the bottom side, that's gonna help a lot more, so you won't apply pressure to the plastic. And then just pull to the side that way. And there you go, that's released. And then this one, you just push down. And next, I'm just gonna take this out. I'll put it back later. I'm gonna remove these black ones first. All these black ones. And that's pretty much what you want to do. You want to try to just trim it till you see an edge, and from that point you can just pop it out. It's not going to do much right now because I still have all these, but you want to get flush basically. Okay, keep going. So we want them to come loose like that. I might have to remove these. I'm gonna take my time and make sure I only remove what needs to be removed only. It looks like this one doesn't really want to separate, and I believe it's because of these 2 tabs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these. These need to come off as well, these little circle rivets.
Going slower because I want to grind this off.
Now, I did grind a little corner, but that's okay. We're gonna push. See where we're at. Now this piece comes off. So this one just comes off if you pop it out. So if you push right here, this piece comes off. And you can do that before grinding anything down. It's actually held by one of the 10 mils that we took off earlier. And the rest is just clips. So you can take this off before grinding anything down, right after the 10 mils. Next up, I'm gonna use a T9. You might be able to use a T10 because this one's kind of loose a little bit. Right next to this blue plug, there's 2. You can see them right there. One right here, one right here. Set those off to the side on your magnetic. Let's go ahead and get rid of these white tabs so we can get that opened up a little bit. So safety glasses on, Dremel. I like to have it at around 20, around medium speed.
Careful with the wires.
I'm gonna start with my plastic one. Get underneath and try to separate these. There we go. There we go. That's separated. All the ones that I just drilled, I'm just making sure they're separated and not melted together from the heat. Yeah, they're all separated. There we go. So actually that side one was the main one that we wanted off. At first I thought I wasn't gonna have to remove it, but that's one of the main ones that's gonna release this whole side like this. Now I can remove this little by little. And when you're removing this, keep an eye on that. Right now I was catching an edge, it almost cracked it off, so keep an eye on that. Make sure when you're pulling it, it doesn't get caught. Now it might help if I get these out. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these as well. Looks like it almost slides out, but it's better if we just loosen them up, release them. Actually, let's just do one at a time. Yeah, that did it. So actually just this one, leave those two alone. After that, this kind of just wiggles out. Make sure you keep an eye on that. Open these up, this one and the other one, open them up, and the middle will just come out. Just like that. That's what we wanted. See what I was saying, how it was sandwiched in between. So total white tabs that we have to remove: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 white circles. 2 of the T9s and 2 of the black rivets right here. I think there's a couple more right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it was 7 of the black ones. and 15 of the white ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then black ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 T9s. And then you just squeeze this out, and this is what you want to be super careful, because look at that. You can break it easily. And then you're going to have to deal with going to a dealership. See if they even sell you this part alone. I don't think they will. They're going to want to sell you the whole piece. So you got to be very careful. This is what we want to change out. This is what always breaks. So in order to get that out, you need to get that pin. Push that pin out, and let me get my glasses off so I can really see. Okay, so what you want to do is get the smallest drill bit you can find. This is the piece that we need to remove. So we actually have an extra one, so that means we can kind of ruin that one. This is how long it is, and this is how it presses inside. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to drill in and pull out. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put a screw in there. Now that I have a pilot hole, I'm going to put a screw in there, and I am going to pull out. Now I'm going to use some you want to be careful not to scratch this trim piece right here. So luckily I didn't scratch it, but it was getting close. So we want to keep this, if anything, tape it up. So, but I'm going to use this right here to make sure it doesn't get scratched. Right where the vise is at. Okay, so now I'm going to get some pliers. I'm just going to use my crimpers. I'm just going to pry on the edge. And there you go. Got it out. Once you get this out, handle slides out. Put the new handle back in. Put the new piece back in. You might have to work it in a little bit. Push it in a little further. So it helps if you have a little hammer. But I don't. So I'm just going to use this. There we go. This is what I used. You'll find something like that, like a point that fits in that round part right there. Right. So now just do everything in reverse. Take this out. Now instead of those plastic pieces that were melted on there, we're going to use all the screws that it came with the washers. So let's go to the bench. Okay, now that we have our handle in, our new handle with the new piece that's not broken, we're going to put this back in just how we got it out. So we're going to separate these two pieces like that, and we're going to bring this inside. Now we need to focus on these white tabs right here. Get them inside these. Separate this. Now, I'm using my finger, that helps a lot to kind of bring this out. That definitely opened it up a lot. And focus on this. Remember to keep an eye on that clear plastic. So number one. Once you line this, there's like a little piece that lines up with this one right here. Once you line that up, also this clip, there's a clip that clips. Just line that clip up, everything else will line up. See how this is going in? Right there. As long as you line that clip up right there. Boom. You're good. Everything else should line up. All we have to do now, every spot that we grind it off, we're gonna use these screws to fasten it. So I'm gonna make room on this side. Yeah. So that you won't lose these. And on this side. I'm gonna start off with factory ones. So this is a T9. These T9s go on the edge over here. Okay. Next. 10 mils. Definitely don't want that to happen to you while the screws fell. Patience, 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 patience. Don't get crazy. Crazy. Patience, patience. Be crazy. Just have 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 patience. Just have patience. Just have patience. Just have patience. This is what I was looking for, and that's what made me drop everything. Take a deep breath. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. Okay. Put this back in there. Behind. Get our 10 mils in there. These you can't really tighten too much, so kind of just lightly tighten. Lightly, because you're not going to tighten these very much. That's it. Just let go. As soon as you feel something, let go. That's it. And I think that was the last one. So now we're going to start screwing these, and you want to have a, what do you call these? A little screw, a little wash it. They'll go in there. So again, just make sure you have a washer, screw, and just kind of apply some pressure. Center it. Apply pressure from the bottom. As soon as you feel it tighten up, let go.
Overdo it, because then try to tighten it off.
So I would leave that one for last because that's an important one that holds the edge of the door panel. And now, 10 mil. We're gonna put this last piece. Right over here, our last 10 mil. Bingo. So our handle is put back, and our door panel is fastened up. Right now is a good time to put these fasteners that fell off. Sometimes they fall off, so we're just gonna take that off. Got to remember to put this connector back on carefully. White connector, but this is the one that we need to be careful because it goes onto that clear plastic piece that's very fragile. This one right here. So let me see if I can zoom in. I don't think I can, but I'm just going to try to get closer. And what you want to do here, just the same way we took it out. Slide it back in. Hold it with one finger and then push the black piece. Once you get it right under it, then push up carefully to the clips. That's how you do that without breaking it. Slide it in and up while you're holding it. Don't just pressure it, you gotta hold it with the other finger, and the other fingers on the other hand will push it while the other one holds it still. Okay. So this piece right here, we wanna just push it in. We want it to come out the other side. Make sure it's stuck. There you go. Next, let me put this camera
Put that back in. Don't forget to pull and get that in there. Otherwise your door's not gonna open.
I want to show you how this piece goes in to here. So it actually goes in like that. So when we remove it, we need to remove back out and then up over this. So notice how that's shaped. This, when you remove the door, needs to go out this way and then up and over the lock right here. So in reverse, we're gonna put this over in and then push this in. Okay. Door panel back in. Get this lock in there first, and then see that bottom layer right there? This is gonna go in right there, right in the middle. This is a seat right there, this whole channel, and this is another channel in the door panel. So you want to just lock them in like that. And look from this side right here. Light it up with a light. Make sure you're lined up. Nice and flush. And now work your way all around. Make sure you get every fastener lined up. Lined up. Lined up. Once like 3 of them are lined up, it should all be good. Put this piece back in on the edge right there. It's not going anywhere just like that. It's not going anywhere. Don't worry about the centerpiece. That's not going anywhere. So it's better if you connect these before you put the door panel back in. And even after we properly put that cable in the slot, the door handle's still going to be a little bit sticking out, a little bit off a little bit, but like I said, aftermarket part, it's best as you're going to get. Let's test it out. Outside door handle works, and inside door handle works as well. And that's just going to be out like that. That's the only down part of getting aftermarket parts. They're not always going to fit perfectly, but better than nothing. Now you just do everything in reverse. That piece that we took off right there, we can put back on. This side goes in first, just like a C channel. This side just pushes in. Or the foam should be on this first. Kind of work it in there. Yeah, see, put the foam in there. Nice and tight. And now, get this corner pieces together. Try to keep it together. Get that edge that I was talking about on the other side. Get that edge around first. That edge is inside, and there's 2 tabs right here that you just push in. Get that surround around it. Boom. Once you get that, that's kind of tricky because you got to keep them together, but make sure you get that edge in there. It goes in between here. That edge thing goes right there in between this felt. It goes behind it, like in between the felt, right there. This was probably the hardest part. After that, just kind of this corner, you see how it really sticks up right there? We're probably going to want to get that in there first, like that. Just bend it, and right on the other side. So kind of do this without breaking, of course. And get this in here. This is going to help us a lot if we get the bottom piece in there, because then everything else will fall in place. This needs to go inside the felt. Push it in. Doing this with one hand, so it's a little hard. Just work it in. There you go. Just need to sit in there. Now keep in mind, if this is sun-baked, it's probably going to break on you.
I decided to keep this car. How much would tint be to tint something like this?
On this car, I'll give you the prices right now. Let's see. All right, so make sure you have all the fasteners make sure you don't forget that speaker ring. Don't forget to put these T30s back in. Alright. And test everything. There's a button right here for the trunk. Go ahead and test it. Okay, that's working. Turn the ignition on. Make sure all the controls work. Okay. Put the window up, put the window down, make sure nothing's binding. You should be fine with the window as long as the control works, because we didn't mess with the window actuator. But still make sure all the controls work. Good idea to check that before as well, because it could be already damaged. Looks good. Let me just make sure that's the door's gonna open and close. Still good. Make sure that the lock is still open. All right. And that's how you do a handle replacement on a 2012 Mercedes-Benz. Not too sure which models, but it seems to be a very common problem where these handles like to break off from the back, and then you're just left with a loose handle that doesn't open the door. So good luck. You can do it. If you don't want to deal with it, just set an appointment with me. roadshopaudio.com, 909-359-4111. I'm located in Fontana, California. So yeah, I think you can do it if you take your time and you have a Dremel, a 10mm, a T9, a T30, and some patience, and you can get it done. Good luck.